With that concept in hand, what we've done is we've gone out now. And what we want to do is we want to put the test car up on the track and see, will the car run? How will it run? So what you want to do is you want to touch all of the people who are involved in these areas within our township. Mr. Schleifer and I first began bringing this to the attention of the Township Committee in terms of trying to understand their perspective and gain insights as to what they thought. Beyond the Township Committee, though, we needed to go and we needed to listen and gain understanding from the people who are there on a daily basis that run these programs, run these services, provide all of the special events that go on in the town. We also needed to hear from those who serve as volunteers, who head up the programs in this township. So what we did was we went off and working with the administrator's office who scheduled these meetings for us, we contacted and we brought in and we spoke to the heads of recreation, the league presidents. We are blessed as a township with a fine group of volunteers, and we should be very proud of what they bring. We also spoke with, because we're very sensitive to the fact that this is just not about youth sports. When we're talking about the word recreation and parks, we're also being considerate and knowledgeable of the fact that recreation affects all, regardless of age. So we brought in and invited to, and the individual came and spoke his piece and his ideas and his thoughts, the head of the senior club president. In addition to these volunteers, what we did was we sought out and wanted to hear, wanted to learn, and gain reaction from recreation department. We wanted to hear from the management team of recreation as to what this would mean. We wanted to hear from recreational staff people as to what this would mean. We wanted to hear from recreational line people, the people who make the parks happen, the people without them, that the fields which we enjoy and all the benefits of having a fine playground system would go away. We also needed to hear what DPW has to say about this and what this would mean to them. I thank, on behalf of Mr. Schleifer and myself and the entire committee, the willingness of these individuals to speak candidly to us, speak honestly, address issues, raise questions, raise concerns, and push our thinking further along so that we can appreciate the learning which they provided to us, so that if this plan moves ahead in the way in which we envision it moving ahead, it will move ahead that much better. So let me begin now sharing with you the learning from these meetings, because I think it's important that we hear this information and understand it. And I'll begin with, in terms of talking about the fact that we categorically, and I will say this again, we are not abolishing any services. We are not seeking to destroy anything within this township. The goal here is to save taxpayers money and improve services. That's the goal. The learning to date is significant. I'm going to share with you a series of quotes, ideas, questions, many of which come from people in this room. And when they hear it, I'm sure they'll recognize it. Beginning with, why do people come to Hanover to live? What attracts them to come to Hanover Township? Why do they want to move here? Well, John, you got to understand, the reason they come here is because, number one, you got a quality education system. Number two, you have very good recreational services. And number three, you got affordable taxes. So these are key drivers as to what bring people to our town. Many of the people who participated in the discussions are interested and motivated to address the declining revenue that we are experiencing. And they were supportive, and they came back with ideas to try to make recreational programs more self-sufficient. These are ideas. We're not here judging their ideas, but I'll share their ideas. Some of the ideas would be, how about increasing fees for a couple of dollars to those registrants during the process? An extra $2 here, an extra $1 there. Not a hardship, particularly to anybody, and we do have a scholarship on a need basis. How about renting the recreation hall for special events, potentially to bring in some revenue dollars that would help serve the township in this time where we are facing significant economic hardships? How can we ensure that we can maintain low usage programs like in-house basketball, which don't even operate on a break-even basis? Many of the individuals talked about how proud they were of the conditions of the fields and want to be certain that proposed changes will not negatively impact quality. They want to know, how will we ensure that this happens? This is a legitimate concern. It is a metric, because as far as I'm concerned, this only works if you get the efficiencies and the effectiveness. If we don't deliver on both counts, the concept doesn't work. In addition, what was said was, we need to protect our pool. It is one of the finest recreational facilities of its kind within Morris County. And we are now faced with the major dilemma in terms of the maintenance costs that pool is now hitting because of its age. What about the scale? What will happen to programs, and how will they be affected if they're combined into one mega department? We learned also about specialty of the skills, and I think it's important that we share this. The parks workers have unique specialties. They have specialized skills. It takes someone with experience and expertise to properly line and manicure a field. How will we be effective in sharing a labor pool if existing DPW workers are not familiar with the park service responsibilities? So what they raised to our attention clearly is, if this were to be done, we need to do this in a thoughtful manner, and training becomes an issue. That training and training costs need to be identified to be incorporated in any form of merger plan that would bring recreation and parks and DPW together. Why? Because without proper training, it literally would create more work for them. They would have to train the person that's trying to help them, and they may have to double back and do the work again if it were not done properly. The Parks Group has done many innovative things over the past couple of years. They're operating more efficiently, and they're reducing their overtime hours. They're saving the township money, and they're doing this through personal contribution in the form of allowing their schedule to change and utilizing flex hours. Currently, the statement is, we try to share services. However, it seems that it's only one way. Parks does a lot of contribution of services, but does not get help in return. We want to be ensured that the services, this opportunity, is shared both ways. The Recreation Department not only does it take care of our municipal fields, but we want the Township Committee to know that we also maintain the school fields. We also maintain sidewalks. We clear over 10 to 12 miles of sidewalks in this township. DPW, during peak snow periods, places real challenges to workers' safety. Why is that? Oh, well, the reason is, you got to understand that these drivers and these machine operators, they're operating under significant stressful conditions, because some of them are logging 20-hour periods of time which they're working. There's a cost to that. The cost of that is public safety.